Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're diving into the world of United States Jefferson nickels, especially the rare silver wartime coins with a D mint mark. And some of these coins are worth serious money. Believe it or not, people have found these nickels in old jars, pocket change, and even at yard sales, only to discover they're worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In this video, we'll break down the rare dates you should be looking for, the key mint marks collectors chase, the important full steps detail that can dramatically increase value, and the valuable minting errors that can turn an ordinary nickel into a hidden treasure. We'll also explore why wartime silver nickels are so special and how certain rare varieties have become highly collectible. So stay tuned, and don't forget to check your coins carefully because you might already have a valuable piece hiding in your collection. The story of a 2000 D Jefferson nickel becoming a hidden fortune worth hundreds of thousands of dollars is the kind of mystery that instantly captures attention. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary 5-cent coin, something people ignore every day in pockets, jars, and old drawers. But collectors know that even the smallest coin can hide a surprising story. This particular Jefferson nickel, struck in the Denver Mint with the famous D Mint mark, belongs to one of the longest-running coin series in the United States. Millions were made, yet the search for rare examples, unusual conditions, and minting mistakes keeps collectors checking every nickel they find. One important truth changes everything about this coin. A regular 2000 D Jefferson nickel is not actually a silver coin. It is made from a copper-nickel alloy, the same type of composition used in most modern nickels. Many people mistake its shiny appearance for silver, but true silver Jefferson nickels were mainly produced during World War II between 1942 and 1945, when nickel metal was needed for the war effort. Those wartime nickels carried real silver content and are part of a completely different chapter in coin history. Still, the 2000 D nickel carries its own fascination. By the year 2000, the world was entering a new millennium, and millions of Americans were saving coins as souvenirs of the changing era. Even ordinary nickels from this time became keepsakes for some collectors. What makes the Jefferson nickel special is its long connection to American history. Featuring President Thomas Jefferson on the front and his famous home, Monticello, on the back, the coin represents stability and continuity through generations of change. Many people believe a worn or dirty coin must secretly be valuable because it looks old and mysterious. In reality, heavy wear, scratches, corrosion, or discoloration usually lower a coin's value. Collectors prefer coins with clean surfaces, sharp details, and original shine. But there is one major exception that keeps the excitement alive: mint errors. If a 2000 D Jefferson nickel was struck incorrectly, with double letters, an off-center design, clipped edges, or unusual metal flaws, it could suddenly become far more desirable than a normal example. The D mint mark simply means the coin was made in Denver. It is not rare on its own because millions of nickels from that mint exist. However, coins with exceptional condition or unusual features can stand out in the collecting world. A perfectly preserved coin with strong luster and no visible work can attract serious attention from collectors, especially if professionally graded at a high mint state level. The internet is filled with dramatic stories claiming coins like this are worth $900,000 or more, but most of those stories are exaggerated. Truly valuable coins reach enormous prices only when they are extremely rare, historically significant, or unique because of minting mistakes. A normal 2000 D Jefferson nickel will not make someone a billionaire overnight, but rare error versions and top condition examples can absolutely surprise collectors with values far above face value. What makes this coin truly meaningful is the story it carries. It represents a modern chapter of American coinage, connecting everyday life with national history. It passed through cash registers, vending machines, and millions of hands during the beginning of a new century. Even though it is small, it carries a silent record of its journey through time. So before tossing an old Jefferson nickel aside, look closely. Examine the mint mark, check the details, and search for anything unusual. Because in the world of coin collecting, the most ordinary-looking coin can sometimes become the beginning of an extraordinary discovery. The story of a 2001 D Jefferson nickel becoming a hidden treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars sounds almost unbelievable, And that is exactly why collectors and everyday people continue searching through jars of old change, hoping to uncover something extraordinary. At first glance, this small 5-cent coin looks completely ordinary, something people spend without even thinking. But in the world of coin collecting, even the most common-looking coin can hide a surprising mystery. The Jefferson Nickel from 2001 with a D mint mark was struck at the Denver Mint in the United States during the beginning of a new century, a time when millions of coins were flowing through stores, banks, vending machines, and pockets across America. One of the biggest misunderstandings about this coin is the belief that it is made from silver. In reality, the regular 2001 D Jefferson Nickel was produced using a copper-nickel alloy, not real silver. True silver Jefferson nickels belong mostly to the wartime years between 1942 and 1945, when the United States changed the composition of nickels because nickel metal was needed for World War II. Those wartime nickels became legendary among collectors, and that history causes many people today to mistakenly assume modern nickels are also silver treasures. Still, the 2001 D nickel carries excitement of its own. The coin features President Thomas Jefferson on the front and his famous estate Monticello on the back. For decades, this design became one of the most recognizable symbols in American pocket change. Even though millions were produced, collectors continue studying certain dates and mint marks because rare varieties and unusual errors can sometimes appear where nobody expects them. Many people become excited when they find an old or dirty-looking nickel, believing its worn appearance means hidden value. But the truth is usually the opposite. Heavy scratches, fading, corrosion, and dark discoloration often reduce a coin's desirability. Serious collectors prefer coins with sharp detail, original shine, and minimal damage. However, there is one thing that can instantly change the story of an ordinary nickel: minting errors. If a 2001 D. Jefferson Nickel was struck off-center, shows double lettering, clipped edges, or unusual die flaws, it can suddenly attract strong interest from collectors searching for unique pieces. The D mint mark simply indicates the coin was made in Denver. It is not rare by itself because millions of Denver nickels exist. Yet collectors know something important. Condition matters. A coin that survived untouched for years, still holding its original luster and clean surfaces, can become far more valuable than a heavily worn example. High-grade coins certified by professional grading companies often command strong prices because perfect examples are surprisingly difficult to find. The internet is full of dramatic claims about coins worth $900,000 or even millions of dollars, and stories like these spread quickly because they capture imagination. But truly valuable coins reach those enormous prices only when they are exceptionally rare, historically important, or unique because of major minting mistakes. A normal 2001 D. Jefferson Nickel will not turn someone into a billionaire overnight. Still, rare error coins and exceptional mint state examples can absolutely surprise collectors with values much higher than 5 cents. What makes this coin truly fascinating is not just money, but the history hidden inside such a small object. This nickel traveled through the early years of the 21st century, witnessing a rapidly changing world, while quietly remaining part of daily American life. It passed through countless hands, cash registers, and collections, carrying a silent story across generations. So before spending an old Jefferson nickel without looking carefully, take a closer look, check the mint mark, study the details, and search for anything unusual. Because in coin collecting, the greatest discoveries often begin with coins that most people overlook every single day. The story of a 2002 P. Jefferson Nickel becoming a hidden fortune worth hundreds of thousands of dollars sounds almost impossible. Yet this is exactly the kind of mystery that keeps coin collectors searching through old jars, forgotten drawers, and pocket change every single day. At first glance, the coin looks simple, just another 5-cent piece from the United States. But experienced collectors know that sometimes the most ordinary-looking coins hide the most surprising stories. The Jefferson Nickel struck in 2002 with the P mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint during a time when modern American coins were already becoming collectibles instead of everyday treasures. One of the biggest myths surrounding this coin is the belief that it is made from silver. In reality, a standard 2002 P. Jefferson Nickel is not silver at all. It was struck using a copper-nickel alloy, the same composition used for most modern nickels. The confusion comes from the famous wartime Jefferson nickels made between 1942 and 1945, when the United States temporarily added silver to nickels because nickel metal was needed during World War II. Those wartime coins became legendary among collectors, and over time many people started assuming modern nickels could also secretly contain silver. Still, the 2002 P nickel carries its own kind of excitement. Featuring President Thomas Jefferson on the front and Monticello on the reverse, the coin continued one of the longest-running designs in American history. By the early 2000s, many half dollars and nickels were no longer heavily used in circulation the way they once were, meaning collectors began saving them in rolls, albums, and mint sets. That created a strange situation where millions existed. Yet truly flawless examples became harder to find than people expected. Many people become excited when they discover an old nickel with dark color, scratches, or dirt, believing it must be rare because it looks unusual. But the truth is often the opposite. In the coin world, heavy wear and damage usually lower value rather than increase it. Collectors prefer coins with sharp details, smooth surfaces, and original mint shine. However, one thing can completely change the value of an ordinary-looking 2002 P nickel, a genuine minting error. If the coin shows doubled lettering, an off-center strike, clipped edges, die cracks, or strange metal flaws, it could suddenly attract serious attention from collectors. The P mint mark simply means a coin was struck in Philadelphia. It is not rare by itself because millions of Philadelphia nickels were produced. Yet collectors understand that rarity is not always about the mint mark alone. Sometimes a coin becomes valuable because of condition. A nearly perfect 2002 P. Jefferson nickel with strong luster and no visible can sell for much more than face value when professionally graded. Coins preserved in exceptional condition become desirable because very few survive without damage. The internet is full of dramatic claims about coins worth $900,000 or even millions of dollars, and these stories spread quickly because they spark imagination and hope. But truly valuable coins reach those enormous prices only when they're extremely rare, historically important, or unique because of major minting mistakes. A normal 2002 P. Jefferson nickel will not make someone a billionaire overnight. Still, rare errors and top-grade examples can absolutely surprise collectors with impressive values far beyond 5 cents. What makes this coin truly fascinating is not just the possibility of value, but the history hidden inside such a small object. It traveled through the beginning years of the 21st century, passing through banks, stores, and collections while quietly carrying a piece of American history. Every mark, every detail, and every year tells part of that journey. So before spending an old Jefferson nickel without taking a closer look, examine it carefully. Study the mint mark, search for unusual features, and pay attention to condition, because in the world of coin collecting, some of the greatest discoveries begin with coins most people never even notice.